Does my apron shirt look good? Fine. Nothing's weird.
Yep.
This looks a little weird.
This
Want
might
to
be
zoom
our,
in on it.
this might be our cold open right now.
Hi, I'm Spencer. I cook, develop recipes, and I grow 5 varieties of cucumber. At least I did this summer. So it might have been a couple weeks since you last saw our video on gougères. That was episode 3. This is episode 4. But in real time, it's been over 2 years. We actually filmed the first 3 videos back in 2020 during the post-sourdough era of the pandemic. You guys remember that? And we made them because we had a lot of time on our hands and we just wanted a fun project to do. And we want to continue this fun project, but we really want to get people more comfortable in the kitchen, help them know where their food comes from, and just have fun cooking together. And I just love how food brings people together. That's why we're making these videos, and we hope you guys join along with us today. So today we are making spicy smashed cucumbers. It's a really great recipe. I created this recipe a few years ago. I have a big garden and was getting 1 to 2 cucumbers like every couple days. And I just had so many cucumbers in my garden and in my refrigerator. I didn't know what to do with them. I started just making salads with them. And this is the end result. It's based off Chinese cucumber salads that are kind of, there's a lot of variations of them, and this is just my version today. So I'll walk through the ingredients I have and the equipment I have, and then we'll get cooking. So these are the cucumbers. I have 5 varieties, like I said. This is China Jade. It's like a little smile. And this is, I mean, if you're not into cucumbers, you might not find this interesting, but it's fine. This is Xiao Long. It's a really tasty cucumber, also a Chinese variety. This one's called Ayonagajibai. It's a Japanese variety. This one's probably the sweetest cucumber that I've had, ever. This one didn't get pollinated correctly, which is why it should look like this, and it, you know, it happens. Lemon cucumber, and these little guys, oh shoot. These little guys are cucamelons. I think they look like little watermelons for hamsters. Look at them. They're just great. But we're not using those today. We're gonna use the main cucumbers. So we have cucumbers, we have salt, sugar, sesame seeds, we have sesame oil, soy sauce, and this is Lao Gan Ma chili crisp. We use this in the egg video, which was our first video. If you wanna check that out, click that button right there. But it's a Chinese kind of chili oil, and there's a lot of fermented beans and garlic in there. It's really tasty, really delicious. And you really just need kind of normal stuff. A knife, bowl, little strainer, peeler, and that's really it. Let's get started. So we need probably about, I don't know, a few cucumbers to start. I'm gonna do these 2. And because I grew them, these guys have little spikes on them. I'm just gonna take a towel and you kind of just rub little spikes off. But if you didn't grow them and they don't have these, then don't worry about it. Like this one is totally fine. Great. So we're gonna take the cucumber and we're gonna cut the end off like this. And then we're gonna cut it in half. And the reason why they're smashed is it creates more surface area. It gets rid of like kind of the bigger seeds. And it just makes it kind of a fun texture. I don't go crazy because you don't want to make like cucumber puree, but you're just giving it like a slight little smash like that. I have the knife flat on the cucumber and like flat palm. You definitely don't want to cut yourself. So cut off the ends. You don't have to obviously use these cucumbers or grow your own cucumbers. Use what you can find. I really suggest going to the farmer's market, finding some nice cucumbers. I think I like the Asian variety of cucumbers because they tend to be a little sweeter. Sometimes cucumbers, like the typical American cucumbers, when they get too big, they get very, almost bitter sometimes, and that's not so good. A little smash. Cool, and then we're gonna put them into this bowl. give them a nice little slice on the bias, like that. Great. If your cucumbers are kind of older and they kind of have a more mature skin, I'll stripe the cucumber sometimes. I didn't do it for these because the skin was pretty tender, but what that means is you just take your peeler and you make little stripes like that, and then you would cut it. So it keeps some of the skin on, which is nice, but with these guys, I don't think you needed it. So then you're gonna heavily season them with a lot of salt and a little bit of sugar. And what that's gonna do is gonna pull a lot of the water out, and it's gonna make them really nice and crunchy, and then we'll season them with all these things, and that's really it. I think the thing is you really wanna over season them so you'll taste it and be like, ooh, that's very highly seasoned, but we'll drain them and all that salt will go away. So it looks like I put a lot of salt in there, but it'll be totally fine. Give them a little stir. And they start releasing water like pretty quickly. You can already see like they're kind of already getting a little juicy. I'm just gonna try one. Yeah, they're really good. They taste like a little bit salty, which is what you want. So you just let this chill out for about 20 to 30 minutes, and that water is gonna come out, and then we'll drain them and season them.
20 minutes later.
So it's been about 20, 30 minutes, and the cucumbers have released a lot of their water. You guys can see it right there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna drain them. I have a strainer here. Pour these guys in. You can just drain it over the sink, like that. If you have more time, you can just let these sit, and they'll drain out a lot more liquid to get them even more dry, but they're okay like this. I kind of want to drink it, but it's like a salt lick, so I'm not. So these go back in the bowl. And then all we gotta do is season them. So they get a little bit of sesame oil, toasted, little soy sauce. They're pretty seasoned already, so we don't wanna add a lot of salt, but just a little flavor. And then some chili crisp. And if you don't have chili crisp, you should just buy chili crisp. So give it a little stir. I guess you could use like hot chili flakes or like fresh hot peppers, but what the chili crisp does, and it has a lot of like that chili oil and garlic and fermented bean, it makes it really nice. So you want a color that looks like this. Still green, but they're nicely dressed and seasoned. Let's try one. They're really good, if I do say so myself. And then we just plate them in a bowl. I think the thing with these is you want to make them probably close to till the time you're gonna eat it. They'll sit for a couple hours, but they'll continue to release some of the liquid, which is totally fine. But if you can get them dressed as close as to when you're eating them. And then to garnish, I'm just gonna put a little bit of the chili crisp on top. Obviously you can add more if you like it really spicy. And then to finish, I put some sesame seeds. I'm using the brown ones and the black ones, but you can use either or both. If you don't have it, that's totally fine. And then to garnish, a little green and a little herbiness, I'm gonna put some cilantro sprigs that I have. You can also use green onion, kind of whatever you want, really. And then I actually have some cilantro blossoms. So in my garden, I grow cilantro, not for cilantro necessarily, but I'll let it flower, and the flowers turn to seeds, and the seeds become coriander, and that's like the spice that we use in cooking and other dishes. But what's really nice is when they're green, like you can pick them off and then you pound them in a mortar and pestle or cut them with a knife. And then you could add that to herb sauces or marinades, and they have this like really citrusy taste to them, and they're really, really delicious. But the flowers have this similar taste, and they're really great too. These are spicy smashed cucumbers. I hope you guys make them. They're tasty. They're really great side dish to have for the next barbecue you're having. I make them all the time and just bring them everywhere. I made them for staff meals and people like them. So I really hope you guys enjoy this recipe, and we'll see you soon. I'm growing 5 varieties of cucumbers this year. These are probably my favorite, Suyo Long. They're a Chinese variety, really sweet. They grow really fast. And they're really tasty. Life stages. Then we have the lemon cucumber, also delicious, but not as delicious. And then we have this Japanese variety. There's 2 here. Ayonagajibai, very sweet cucumber. Over here, we have the cucamelon, watermelon for hamsters. Lastly, we have this guy, China Jade. He's new to the bunch. It's supposed to be green inside, like jade color. That's it.